My husband Brian and I have been married 15 years. We have a daughter, Julia, who's 14. We have a son, Nate, who's 11. After Nate, there are 7 miscarriages. It was miscarriage after miscarriage. I think the hardest one was September of 2011. I miscarried twins at 12 weeks. And that broke me. That was hard. And we just felt like God was calling us to adoption. So we started filling out the paperwork. And then in February of 2012, I sing in a praise team at the church that I attend. And one of the girls, I just asked her how her week was in passing. And I had not told anyone that we had filled out adoption paperwork. And she said, well, my week was okay, but a coworker asked me if my husband and I could adopt, and we're not interested in adopting, so could you pray for them? They're looking for someone to adopt this little boy. My jaw really hit the floor when she told me his name, and his name is Riley. And when we were expecting with Julia, we wrote down names on a piece of paper, and there are names, Julia, Nathaniel, and Riley. And I just knew that God was speaking to us, and I drove home, and I ran in the door, and I talked to Brian, and he said, yes, call them right now and tell them yes. And so then it all fast-forwarded the next week. We started meeting with the great aunt and Riley weekly, and then all of a sudden he was spending all week with me, and our home study went really well. I went to pick him up that night because he had been at his grandmother's, and she had all of his stuff on the porch. And she was ready, since the home study had gone well, she was ready for him to just be with us. And right away, I could tell I was way out of practice. My kids are older, they shower themselves, they get food for themselves, they do their own homework. They're good, and I didn't realize how far removed I was from those toddler years. I felt absolutely nuts the first couple of months. The whole story is pretty special. I know it's God's plan, and I know it's okay that angels hold my babies. I know that's okay. But I've always wanted another one. It's a miracle. I don't know what else to say. I'm like, just didn't feel good and got sicker and sicker. And Brian and I had a date and went to the store and bought 3 different pregnancy tests, and they all said pregnant. And we just laughed. God has a huge sense of humor. I've literally been infertile for over 11 years. The last time I looked at a sonogram, it was the twins, and it was so sad because it was, 2 little black holes and their hearts weren't beating. And so to see one now where there's a little alien baby in there, and to see the heart flutter, that just, I don't know. I know that God delights in us, and he delights in the desires of our hearts, and I can't explain it other than I feel like it's just a miracle that he's just handed to us. I'm Kate Eschbach, and this is my story.